emotions. I am woman, unapologetic and powerful. I can make $1 out of olive oil, shea butter, brown beauty queen. I am melanin. This goes out to all women, different pedigrees. I am woman. This goes out to all my women.
Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Savon show. So today we have a very special show for you guys. And I want you guys to know that I am a firm believer of not judging a book by its cover. A lot of times we see beautiful women who are just walking in their truth and their boldness. They have such high self-esteem, high confidence, and we just assume that they just had it good. That is not always the case. Everyone has a story to tell. And today we have the beautiful Ty, who is going to be joining us to tell us her story for the first time. I know Ty is a big influence in the Rochester community. She also is an author, a licensed real estate broker, and she is doing her thing out here. She's also a motivational speaker, and she also has Ty Time, where she sits and she talks about real life things. And I want you guys to understand that everyone has a story to tell. Your foundation is built by the rocks that life has thrown at you, and not to get discouraged. And Ty is going to come on today to tell us her journey and her trials to triumph. And today I would like to welcome Miss Ty Thomas to the show.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So Ty is an inspiration and empowering woman in the Rochester community. She also has, she does motivational speaking. She is an author and a real estate broker. And she also is an author. She wrote her book, and Ty.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that you went to a historically black college.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Hampton. I went to Hampton University, and it was an amazing experience. I cannot stress enough, for young black students coming out into, trying to decide whether or not they want to go to college, first of all, because as we know, that has changed a little bit. There's a lot of desires to be entrepreneurs and things of that nature, but I would not trade my experience at Hampton for the world. We have shows like A Different World and all those different shows. Mm-hmm. Actually, college at Hampton was that type like of that? Experience, yes.
Nice.
It was all about the bands. It was really not about the football team. It was about the battle of the bands and Drumline. If you remember Drumline, it was yes. Very similar to that, yes. But it was an amazing, I made some great connections during that time. All of my college roommates, we still keep in touch, and it was a great experience.
Did you pledge?
I did not. A lot of people are shocked by that. One of my close friends is a Delta, and a lot of people are shocked that I'm not a Delta. They're like, well, wait, I thought you're always with,
Right.
But I did not pledge, and now at this point in my life, I'm fine being where I'm at. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. I know we talked about your mom. She was a substance abuser, mm-hmm. and I know like back in the 80s, around that time, late 70s, a lot of our parents were experimenting mm-hmm. with alcohol or drugs. So Definitely. We come from that era where we all have something in common when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. What was life like for you as a young adult experiencing that? Because I know it can affect academically, yes. stress, depression.
Definitely. And I'm the oldest of 6, so I was, then, and I still am a little bit of a, a maternal figure for my siblings, but it was definitely, I had my grandparents. So, and I know that's something that we share in common too, because thank God for grandparents. And I yes. say grandparents are different. Grandparents are different. Do not debate me. I'm looking forward to my stepson. I'm looking forward to being a grandmother. I don't know about the parent part, but the grandmother, I'm looking forward to that. But no, just thank God for them, taking me in, and my brother and I, and just being parents for us, being stability for us. Right. So during that time, my mother and I, I was young. So my relationship with her was to to use her for what I could get. So if I could stay out late over there, or if I could go do things that my grandmother wouldn't let me do, those were the types of things I was doing. And I knew what was going on, and it wasn't until I got older and I was getting ready to go to college that I realized that, you know, my siblings deserved the same stability that I had.
Right.
And I think I told you a little bit about my story. You know, there was an opportunity for me to go to my homecoming.
Right.
And I was in the midst of going, and that was the weekend that my siblings, the youngest two, were taken into foster care because my mom didn't go and pick them up. And it was a dark place for me because I kind of felt like I should have been there, you know?
Right.
And we always blame ourselves, and we don't realize that we can't always take on the role,
Right.
you know, of being a mother if we're not the mother, but we have to know the role that we're in. I'm an older sister, and I think I had to realize that.
Right.
You know, I can only do what I can do. And a lot of people think that that might have something to do with the fact that I don't have children right now, because I was, you know, a mother figure for them.
Right.
They probably, you know, to this day, they hate me telling them what to do and all those other things. But, you know, it was a time that, you know, my family was really going through. My grandmother passed away my senior year in college, and she had paid for me to go to college and put me through and just inspired me to stay focused. And that senior year was when I did come home, and my siblings ended up going into foster care. But prior to that, I was working 2 jobs, and my sister had her days and nights mixed up, and I was like, this, yeah, I didn't choose this, but you know, this is what life has dealt me. So it has been 22 years now. My mother has been clean, free of drugs. We have a great relationship. Everyone who knows her knows Sexy Mo. That's what we call her. And she is an amazing grandmother. I'm telling you, something about grandparents, but she's an amazing grandmother. And, you know, I'm not the type to hold, I'm not, you know, she says, I want to apologize and all of this. I forgive her.
Right.
Because that was her life. That was the road that she had to go down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And no one could live that life for her. No one could tell her what to do. She had to, you know, get to that point on her own.
Right.
So I don't hold any grudges. I forgive her. She knows that I love her. I have to tell her all the time, Ma, I love you. It's fine. We have a
different place
newfound,
now.
we're in a different place.
Right.
So thank God for that.
I agree. So I'm assuming your father wasn't around.
Yes. No, my father actually he passed. My father was killed when I was 9 years old. And during that time, and you know that, we didn't talk about family business. You know, you didn't go out and tell people what was going on in your household. My father actually was killed, I found out later, in a drug house, going to try to get his brother out of that house. But I was told he died in a roofing accident.
Right.
So I was 9. I didn't really understand. I understood that he was no longer there. But because my grandparents had taken me and brought me to Rochester when I was 6 years old from California, I didn't really, my relationship with my dad was that of a child. I couldn't even remember his voice or anything,
Right.
but I knew that there was loss. You know, I knew
Right.
that, okay, my father was no longer there. And it wasn't until my grandfather passed a couple years ago that I kind of felt like I had no father, you know,
Right.
and I put myself through that whole thing. I mean, the mind is a terrible place, because I told myself, you know, it was Father's Day, and I said, man, I have no father, I have no grandfather, that was my real father. You know, I have nothing, I'm just in this world. And the Lord said, you have me, you're my
Right.
daughter,
Right.
I'm your father. You
Amen.
don't need anybody other than me, first of all. So I really had to come to terms with that. You're not fatherless, you know.
Right.
You have a great surrounding. You have uncles. You have just people who care about you. So I had to get past that, because we can tell ourselves some things to put ourselves in a place and feel ourselves going into that place, you know.
And that is true.
Mm-hmm.
I know with my father is still alive, but he wasn't in the picture for a long time.
Yes.
And so at that point in time, it was me trying to find myself and figure out, like, who did I belong to?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I had
Right.
certain traits that I didn't know where they came from because I didn't know his side. Is that something that you experienced? Like, were you involved with your dad's side, or?
I was. My grandparents So when I was around 6 years old, I went back and forth between California, where they lived, California and Texas, and Rochester. So I was, they were very involved, my grandparents were. And I know my mom will shout it out all the time. She'll be like, oh, you get that from the Owen side. And you do, oh, you didn't get that from me. Oh, that came from this side. You know, so, you know, similarities, the way we look, some of the things, my family and our shapes and different things. My mother will tell me if something came from the Owen side quickly. But just knowing, I still have, like I said, I still have uncles. My grandparents were very involved. Both of them, all of my grandparents are deceased now. But they, all four of them played a major part in my upbringing, because if I, like I said, if I didn't have them, I would not have had that stability. I wouldn't have that childhood, you know, growing up, driving down south, going on family trips, all those things. I wouldn't even know what that was about. So I appreciate
miss those
that.
times. But we'll be right back after this break.
SisFit has changed my life in so many ways. Like many other women, you have a goal in mind. I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm gonna eat right. I'm just gonna give it my all, but you seem to fail. I joined SisFit in September. What I didn't know, that I was coming to a group of women that I haven't even met, that's here to cheer me on, encourage me, and even if I feel like I'm not doing it or I'm not losing the weight, they're telling me you can do it. Then you have an amazing coach, Coach Nee. She's here for everyone. I would definitely recommend SisFit to all women. You do not have to do it by yourself. We're here to encourage you, push you. The things that you haven't thought of doing, we're gonna give you those tips. Come and join SisFit now, don't delay.
SisFit has definitely changed my life in two major ways. The first one is self-discipline. It taught me how to discipline my eating, my time, and how to make time for the things that I need for myself. And another major way SisFit has helped me is self-confidence. Not just confidence in who I am and what I want to look like or just my goals, but confidence in that I can do the workout, that I can make it through the workout, and I can come and get help from my sisters as well.
Welcome back. So we are here with Ty, and she was telling us some of the trials that she went through, and so now we're gonna talk about some of her accomplishments. So Ty is a former teacher turned entrepreneur, author. So please tell us about your former career as a teacher. What was that like?
Yes, I started out as a preschool teacher.
Okay.
And I went on to become I was a coordinator of a youth intervention program at the Urban League of Rochester. And we worked with students from 7th through 12th grade. We followed them and we kind of stayed with them throughout that time. And I was able actually to bring some of that over to real estate, to New to You Homes, because we did a lot of case management, going to the homes, ensuring that, you know, the children were okay. How can we expect them to pass if we're not looking at their family and the dynamics and things that are going on in their household? So we actually brought that over to New to You Homes, and we do kind of a holistic approach to clients and looking at their entire scenario, and not just, you know, the fact that they want to buy a house, but their finances and their family dynamics and different things like that, so that they can be more successful and we can help them where needed.
Okay. So I seen on Facebook where Ty had uploaded a video, or you went live, right?
It was actually a Marco Polo that I was sending my mother, a video that I was sending my mom.
Okay, so she did a video, and she had recorded herself when she found out the news that she had passed her broker's exam. And to hear a little bit of her testimony on that, and that she and her husband owned the business of New to You Homes, and she had been trying and she passed and she had became a broker. So can you take us along that journey of what was it like from being an agent turned broker?
So I am a Virgo. I know so many of my friends are rolling their eyes like, what does that have to do with anything? But I am a Virgo, and I am always looking for ways to do a tad bit better. That's my little slogan, doing a tad bit better every day. But I'm always looking for ways to improve myself, always looking for ways to go to the next level. And so that was just, to me, you know, I needed to get my broker's license. So the other thing about me is that I have test anxiety. So I'll go through an entire class, act like I know something, get to the test, and I don't test well. So the first time I took the broker's class and the exam, I actually did not pass the exam. And that's what I tell a lot of my future agents, that you don't need to, don't give up. Do not be hard on yourself. Just try it again. So when I tried it again the second time, I really was still in that mindset that I'm not going to pass the exam. And I actually sat down on the floor. For 21 years, I could not look at my grandmother's picture. But I took her picture, I sat on the floor, and I cried my eyes out. And I said, I'm not going back to that class. I'm not taking the exam. And it was like, she spoke to me and was like, get your behind up.
Right.
Go take that exam and know that you know what you know. Okay? Right. So that next day I did go take the exam, and I said, I don't know if I passed. So I'm literally sitting at the office, and I had my phone propped up, sending my mom a video, Marco Polo. I said, Mom, I don't know. I just keep seeing the word pass. I just keep seeing that word. Like, I'm visualizing it. I can see it. My husband's always telling me, visualize where you want to be. Where do you see yourself? So I said, I just keep seeing the word pass. So I'm looking through my emails, and I see that you passed, you're an associate broker, and I screamed and cried. I was praising the Lord. I just kept saying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I couldn't get myself together, but it was just all of my hard work, all of my studying, all of those, the test anxiety and everything had come to a head. And I was just so, in this industry, as a woman, as a Black woman, you want your props. Right. And I think, having those designations behind us do give us more credit with other agents that are out there and things like that. So I was just excited that I had done something that I set out to do. Okay.
And what made you guys even start the business of homeowner, of being
real estate
brokers, to help families get homes?
So a little bit behind New to You Homes. My husband actually purchased his first home at the age of 18 years old.
I remember that.
And when he went through that, he faced a lot of ageism, racism. He was not able to get a pre-approval until he had his Caucasian real estate agent take his documentation to the bank without him. And that is when he was approved for his first mortgage. And when he bought that property, he went on to buy other properties and just felt like there was no one really looking out for him. And we wanted to have, a real estate business in which someone was looking out for the buyers. Right. That's how we originally started. So when we started New to You Homes 15 years ago, he wanted me to come over to New to You Homes and be an agent. And I told him, God didn't tell me that, because I do not work on commissions. So I was gonna say something serious.
Hold up.
But seriously, I said, I've been working since I was 14 years old. I'm used to getting a check. I'm not used to waiting and having to do work. And he said, you know what? This is what is needed. And I really feel like you need to think about it, pray about it. So I finally decided to take that leap and come over to New to You Homes. And like I said, I brought my case management background. And when I did that, we were in the midst of a fast. Okay. And after we finished that fast, we knew which direction we wanted to go with the business. We said, we want to help people. We want people who know everyone has counted them out, thinking that they can't purchase a home. We've had clients who were homeless buy homes. So when we decided that New to You Homes was going to help people first and that the money would come, that's when New to You Homes flourished. It began to flourish because we're known for helping first-time home buyers. Yes, we do commercial properties, we do list properties, but our main goal and our main heart is helping people, as many motivated people as possible, achieve their goals of home ownership.
Okay. New to You Homes also was #1 with selling the most houses, right?
Yes,
and
yes,
the first Black-owned real estate in Rochester, New York. So that is history all in itself.
Definitely.
So when Ty was telling me her story, she took me back to the movie called The Banker, which I told her about, and I encourage a lot of our viewers to watch. It is very, very empowering. Also, I saw a post, so it's a movie out, or a series out called Them.
Oh, yes.
So we even touched base on that. It was a crazy movie, a weird movie, but it was impactful, and I thought the movie was dope. And I saw Ty post about how that movie relates and connects to real estate now. So Ty, do you want to tell us a little bit about how that?
Yes, Savon and I were having a good talk about that series, Them. But it is I think I was all into the underlying fair housing laws that they were breaking, you know, kind of steering the Black people into one neighborhood. You know, it's predominantly, and a lot of those covenants that they showed in the movie where it says no one of color or no one of Negro descent can live in these properties or on this street, those are still in deeds to this day. And I was saying the reason why they're not legal, but they haven't been removed, is because it would be someone's job to go and remove those sections from the deeds. But it is this is why we've come so far, because we can live anywhere we want to live. Right. You know, we can afford to live in these places. It's our right. It's our right to own homes, to live in places that we want to live in. So the fair housing and the way that they tried to make them so uncomfortable to want to move out of their home that they had worked so hard for, I'm telling you, if you can get past the creepiness of the movie, or the show, the series, it is a really, really good series. It is. It's a dope show. Also for Ty, she is a speaker as well. She will also be one of the speakers in the Women of Excellent Brunch, which will be May 8th. So make sure you guys get your tickets if you haven't already. But Ty is also going to be a speaker there. And she also, like I said, she's an author. Where can they purchase your book? So my book is available on Amazon.com. It's also available at Barnes & Noble and on my website, TyshardaThomas.com. And
we just was talking about this, Ty Time.
Yes.
So let people know what Ty Time is about.
Yes, so I started Ty Time. I started as a blog. I was just writing. And a friend of mine told me that people wanted to know more about me. They wanted to know what products I'm using, you know, what hair products, face, skin, where I'm traveling, because that's another thing about my husband and I. We travel the world, and we haven't been traveling since COVID. But she said, you know, people want to know those things. So I kind of she encouraged me. She bought my domain. She said, here you go. Now, what's your excuse?
That's a friend.
It's a friend. and I'm always doing that with myself. You know, writing with the book. It took me 2 years to say, okay, let me sit down and actually push the book out. So when I started the blog, it was just a way for me to have my own time. That's why I called it Ty Time. You know, a little bit of not, you know, stepping away from Tysharda Thomas, New to You Homes, and all of those things that I do. But it gave me the opportunity to talk about traveling, where I'm eating, all those different places. And it was a great outlet for me because I'm always working 24/7. I walked in here working. I will leave here working. I work. If I'm not sleeping, I'm working. Right. So it was a great outlet for me to be able to do something that I actually wanted to do. And I even went a little bit further, and I started a vlog. And so then I have a couple shows on YouTube where I was just talking about relationships, and people love the relationship conversations. Just things that are going on in the community, and really getting to know what people go through in life, you know? And I just thought it was just a way for me to show my side, that side of tie, and my opinions and views and what I kind of feel about things. So I still do have tie time. I haven't pushed out anything lately. I've been putting everything into the book and into my new home fragrance.
Yes, it smells lovely.
Yes, and you know, I want everybody to say there's a little bit of tie in my house, no matter where I go, with the fragrance, with the book, and hopefully become a household name one day.
Yes, it smells lovely. So, Ty, what is a fun fact about you?
Oh my goodness. What is a fun
I mean,
fact
we learned
about
something
me?
new
I
today,
know.
but
Other than the fact that I'm a Virgo.
oh goodness,
I'm not gonna wear you guys
I'm a
out.
Taurus.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so a fun fact about me is that I am a comedian. I'm very, very silly, and my friends know that about me. So they say that I'm my close friend Meta, bestie, says that I'm live entertainment, and I don't try to be. It's just that it's my way of, you know, getting through life.
Yeah.
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at yourself. You gotta laugh at things that happen, because life is short and life is serious.
Definitely.
So I do take pride in being funny sometimes when I'm making my friends laugh.
Okay. So, what is something that you would tell your younger self?
Oh my goodness. I probably would say that, you know, no matter how difficult things seem, you know, even in your darkest hours when it's just you, you know, you're gonna get through it. So I think one of the things that I have tried to live by is 85% of the things that we worry about never happen. So I'm a worrier, and I like to worry about things like, oh, I have this going on, I have that going on. So what happens is you worry all day, it finally takes place, it happens, everything goes flawlessly, and you're like, why did I spend all of that time worrying?
Right.
So I would tell my younger self not to worry. That's what I definitely would say.
And for our women, like I started out and I said, never judge a book by its cover. Because looking at Ty, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have known some of the things that she has been through. And so what is some advice you would like to give another woman who may have experienced some of the things you have, but don't know how to get started on that journey to success? And like we talk about success isn't merely cars, money, houses. It's about finding your inner peace. It's about being happy with yourself, finding God or the higher power or whatever it is that you believe in, and having faith. And faith is still believing something's going to happen even though you don't see it, but you just know that feeling in your bone that everything is going to manifest how it should be. So what is the advice that you would give to another woman to start her blueprint for success?
I would say that if God doesn't just drop things in our spirit, He doesn't just place things in our heart. If it's there, then you need to go after it. If you feel like, you know, I may not have all of the resources, look around and ask someone. There's so many people out there that are willing to help. I know for a fact that, you know, I started these agent classes where I'm bringing in new realtors, people who may want or have the desire to be a real estate agent, and I have opened myself up to those people. They don't have to work for New to You Homes, but I just want to be someone that they feel like they can reach out to and talk to if they have a question. So there is always someone out there that is willing to help, but if it's something that God placed on your heart, I say go for it. You'll never know if you don't fail. You'll never know if you don't try.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I would definitely say.
Okay. Is there, how can people contact you?
My website, TyshardaThomas.com. There is a way to contact me on that site. Also, I am on Facebook, Tysharda Thomas. There's not a lot of Tyshardas. And I am on Instagram at Ty Thomas Into You. The letter N, the number 2, and the letter U.
Okay, so there you have it. The beautiful Ty came on the Savon show to talk it up with us, encourage you ladies, and to let you know that you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to. Your trials do not define you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope to see you next time. Thank you.
I am woman. This goes out to all my women.